Listen, man, y'all aren't gonna stop till y'all drive the price of eggs up to like $60 a carton. What's going on, bro? We know about everything going on, but what do y'all do? Like, I don't want nothing with eggs on it, bro. I don't want egg fried rice. I don't want a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich. I don't want nothing with eggs in it. I don't know when they started putting eggs in Low Country, bro, but I don't want eggs in anything, bro. Like, y'all are gonna make everything expensive. Seriously, look, check. Before we get to the craziness, you already know what time it is, right? Question everything. You should. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's check it out.
Hey, TikTok friends. This one's for my bakers or anyone that uses eggs. How are you, like, what's wrong? Like, why are eggs so expensive? It's gonna cost me $7 to get 18 eggs. 18 eggs. Or $5 to get 12. I mean, I know there's like a mathin' thing, but like, that's just not mathin' for that many eggs. I used to pay like $10. Used to pay $3. $3 to $5 for a 60 count. So, where are you getting your eggs at? That's less than that, because I ain't paying that. Thanks.
Yeah, I ain't buying them. Like, we not buying them over here, bro. We just gonna wait like everything else. Wait till the prices come back down. As Walmart would say, when they start rolling back prices, then we'll hop back on the egg train. But for now, nah, bro. I'm egg vegan.
Seriously, Smart and Final, you're gonna charge $9 for a dozen of eggs? That is absolutely ridiculous. And mind you, I live about 10 miles away from the fires right now, so we're already having to deal with all the fires, and now we got to deal with paying $9 for a box of eggs. And there's not much left to choose from. This is ridiculous.
Listen, y'all put the egg prices down for where you live at. If you live in Georgia, what's the egg prices in your area? Alabama, what's the egg prices in your area? Florida, so on and so forth. Put the egg prices down. I want to see something. I just want to see something, where everybody's at and what the egg prices is. Now, I'm trying to see the sign. That's what I wanted to see. It says egg shortage. I can't read the fine print of what it said, but apparently they're posting these now on the section where they have the eggs that they're set. So they're probably pretty soon going to have people standing there only allowing you to get a specific amount of cartons now when you go to the grocery store, bro. And I saw one video, but I couldn't share it with y'all because it has music in the background. But it was like people in Costco's that had cartons full of nothing else. No toilet tissue, no stuff for the kids, no nothing. Just carton full of eggs. I ain't never seen nothing like this before, bro. Y'all are gonna drive these prices up to the same prices those during oxtails. Like, the way people drove the prices up of oxtails, now eggs is gonna be the same way.
Tonight, a woman is behind bars accused of burglarizing and vandalizing her boyfriend's apartment, except the boyfriend is dead.
NBC 6's Jamie Gorilla is live on Miami Beach with more details on what happened. Jamie.
Yeah, the boyfriend's mother says she is still grieving the loss, but her heart dropped when she found out that her son's girlfriend allegedly raided his apartment after he died.
Next case is Karina Oro.
Now I get it. Now it makes sense. So he said the boyfriend's mom probably, I never liked you anyway. You know how moms be against, for their sons? Bro, moms go crazy for their sons.
Orozco Gomez, good morning.
Karina Orozco Gomez in jail after allegedly burglarizing and vandalizing an apartment on South Beach. According to police, she stole jewelry and damaged 2 vases, a bookshelf, and a picture frame. Detectives say this surveillance video captured Gomez entering and leaving the building the same night in December that the apartment was burglarized.
This woman decides to come with another man to my son's apartment that is empty. It's already empty.
an empty apartment that a new tenant was in the process of moving into. The previous tenant was Emmanuel Londono. Gemma Londono is his mother.
He was a sweetheart. Like, everybody loves him.
Sadly, Emmanuel passed away from cardiac arrest, which has his mom asking why nearly 2 months later Gomez would go to his empty apartment, taking and vandalizing what was left.
I don't know why did she do that. Maybe she wanted to go and steal my son's stuff. That's the only thing that I can think of, because none of my son's stuff belongs to her.
Gemma helped police identify Gomez.
In a case like this, our detectives are very empathetic. We understand that the witness have sentimental values tied to this unit. What the two defendants did in this case were extremely heinous and were wrong.
All right, now a judge set bond at $3,150 or house arrest. Emmanuel's mom says she wants justice, and justice to her is having the suspect deported back to Guatemala. Reporting live tonight in Miami Beach, Jamie Garola, NBC 6 News.
Tonight.
Listen, never mess with a mother's love. I'm telling y'all, bro, mothers go hard for their sons. Never mess with that. Never. She want her gone out of here, out of the country, bro. Like, you could tell she ain't playing.
Bro, ever heard the saying, how you start is how you finish? It's got me thinking about how we started this year. How the year started. Remember how the year started? With the Miami Mall incident? Bro, this is crazy. I just did something with ChatGPT. Let me show you guys. All right, so check this out. This is the prompt I gave ChatGPT. There was an incident in the beginning of the year at the Miami Mall where there were many witness claims that aliens visited the mall. I want you to research the situation and the initial police response in social shock and social media videos and theories. Then I want you to write a hypothetical situation like this occurring in New Jersey or New York during a group gathering like a holiday parade or event, Christmas event on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I would have preferred Christmas Day. Create a scenario just like the Miami Mall. And this is what it came out with. It's going to give you a little bag. Just check this out. Just check this out. Stay to the end. You're going to enjoy this.
In early January 2024, a video circulated online showing a mysterious figure outside the Bayside Marketplace in Miami, sparking widespread claims of an alien sighting. The video depicted a tall, gray figure, at least 2.4 meters in height, walking near police cars, leading some social media users to speculate that an alien had visited the mall. The frenzy escalated, with theories ranging from UFOs to a hidden invasion. However, local authorities quickly debunked the rumors. Miami police clarified that the incident involved a large crowd of teenagers causing chaos, which included fireworks and looting. The police were responding to what was initially mistaken for gunshots. The presence of a creature in the video was eventually attributed to a few individuals, likely law enforcement officers, walking together near the mall, with the footage misinterpreted due to its poor quality and lack of context.
What? They called it the police. Stop playing now. Remember this. If y'all don't recall this, go back and check out the videos. I remember covering this and going through this and watching the videos and trying to see and dissecting it and looking. And it was crazy, but they never gave a reason as to why. That's interesting to know that they said that's what they attributed it to, though.
Police confirmed that there were no extraterrestrial entities involved, nor were any UFOs present. 60 source, 61 source, 62 dice source. Building off this incident, let's imagine a similar scenario unfolding in New Jersey or New York during a holiday gathering, such as a Christmas parade or festive event. Hypothetical scenario: alien invasion at a New Jersey Christmas parade. On the evening of December 24th, 2024, as a bustling crowd gathered for the annual Christmas parade in downtown Jersey City, the festive atmosphere suddenly shifted into chaos. At around 7:30 p.m., witnesses began to notice strange movements near the edge of the crowd, where several large, shadowy figures appeared to be walking briskly between the floats and nearby police barriers. Some attendees described the figures as alien-like, claiming they were unnaturally tall and had an eerie gray appearance. As the figures moved toward the main event area, panic spread among the crowd. People began recording videos on their phones, capturing blurry images of the mysterious figures as they seemed to glide between pedestrians. The footage quickly went viral, with social media users speculating that this might be a UFO-related encounter. A hashtag, #Jersey Christmas Invasion, started trending, and theories of a hidden alien attack flooded various platforms, suggesting that the government was hiding the truth. At this point, law enforcement, already present in large numbers due to the holiday crowds, was caught off guard. They swiftly issued a public announcement via social media denying the reports of extraterrestrials. However, the police were dealing with the aftermath of a much more earthly problem. A group of teenagers had caused a disturbance by shooting off fireworks and engaging in fights near the parade route. The loud bangs were initially mistaken for gunshots, adding to the confusion. The figures in the video were later identified as several officers attempting to control the crowd who had been walking together in uniform. Despite the police clarification, the social media buzz continued. Videos were edited and shared, some even splicing in clips from past UFO sightings, fueling further speculation. Some conspiracy theorists pointed to the police presence as evidence that something larger was being covered up. Meanwhile, others argued that the whole situation was an elaborate hoax designed to distract the public. In the aftermath, local news outlets interviewed experts who debunked the theories, but the alien invasion remained a topic of conversation as the event took on a life of its own in the public imagination. This incident would go on to be remembered not for its chaotic nature, but for how quickly social media can amplify and distort reality. This hypothetical scenario mimics the Miami incident, showcasing how viral social media videos can spark wild theories, especially during high-profile public events like parades or holiday gatherings. The blending of confusion, misidentification, and sensational content online can quickly escalate into mass hysteria before authorities can provide clear information.
But that's the problem right there. Stop right there. When do they provide clear information? When do they tell us, hey, this is what it is? Go back to the drone incidents. They knew nothing. The police knew nothing. Authorities knew nothing. Governors, mayors, nobody knew nothing. Knew nothing. Could give no information. Remember the meeting that was called? And one of the government officials went. He was so upset. He came out, gave the interview, and was like, man, I drove up here for nothing, and they still gave us no answers. No answers as to what's going on. That's the problem.
ChatGTP, you must be 730 because you almost ate that. That's a bar. You don't even know. That's a bar, but whatever. Now, if we use these hypotheticals and we run them side by side in these scenarios of something happening, of hypothetically, because this is just my imagination, during a parade or a Christmas event, you know, during the day or at night, it would make a lot of sense, and this would definitely flood the waves for days.
When it comes to Twitch, did y'all see what former Ellen Show producer had to say as far as Twitch's ex-wife sharing the addict allegations? He said, here's the thing about addicts. We know each other. Whether we've got 10 days clean or 10 years clean, there's an unspoken recognition, a vibe, a nod, a yup, I see you. It's instant. He said, Twitch never gave me that at all. He carried light, joy, and kindness in a way that made people feel safe and seen. Every day, his energy wasn't the chaos of addiction. It was the calm that so many of us fight for. He said, I'm not here to weigh on what is right or wrong or what is true or not, but I am here to tell you that the man I knew for many years was an absolute king, and I think he deserves to be remembered that way. He said, obviously as an addict, I know about keeping secrets and BSing the world about who we are. I'm not saying there weren't maybe some things about his life I was completely missing, but if there were, he was as good as hiding them as anyone I've ever seen, ever. So in so many words, you can tell he thinks that Allison is full of because as someone who is an addict himself, he's like, it's not making sense. Anyway, are y'all really gonna buy Allison's book? I'm not. When it comes to Twitch,
why do I feel like they're trying to continuously ruin Twitch's reputation and stuff like that now that he's gone? Like, let that man rest in peace. Rest in peace. Like, why do they keep trying to take it there or bring something up to continue the damage? Like, let him rest. I don't understand that part of it.
On this topic from our government has only added fuel to the many theories that are now circulating right now on the internet. Dr. Stephen Greer is back with us. He's the founder of the Disclosure Project. Dr. Greer has been consistent with us for weeks that there is a disclosure coming before the presidential inauguration, which now leaves us with 10 days. Dr. Greer, it's great to have you back. This is where we are right now. A flight crew on a commercial airplane recorded this large orb in the skies while they were at 17,000 feet. And now people, we mentioned this a week ago, are reportedly getting sick all over the world from this granular, mysterious fog that's being seen all over the place. Right. Does this disclosure happen next week? And if it does, how does it happen? When it starts happening, how will we know?
Well, it'll be all over the news. It's good to see you again. I just heard an hour ago from we call the NOC, he's non-official cover aerospace intelligence community, a senior operator from one of the key black sites, 2 black sites out in the western United States. And they are preparing to do this next week. I don't have an exact date. They intend to not only provide their testimony of operations, he's been there almost 30 years, but also the evidence and other details. Now, he's been involved in 2 things. One is the testing and the surveillance of the man-made UAPs that have been manufactured out of the Lockheed Skunk Works and Northrop Grumman complexes out in the high desert. Okay. The other is the targeting of non-human craft. Some would say extraterrestrial, some say alien. The words they're using now is NHI, non-human intelligence, and the downing of those objects. So he's been intimately involved. I've been at his facility.
So what you're saying is now they're going to start admitting to it? I'd like to see that day. I excuse me for being skeptical, but I like to see that day. So when they say next week, from now, you know what I mean? Depending on when you're watching this video, it could have happened or not happened already. I probably lean towards not happening, but let's be optimistic. We'll see. We'll see if they.
This facility, and that is on track. Now, keep in mind, so much of what is being seen now is sort of a decoy false flag operation, sort of trying to intercept what he's going to be doing and what we've been doing for some time.
But there's no way, Dr. Greer, we've talked about, there's no way all of this can be a false flag. It's all over the world now. It's being seen over cities in India, cities in South Korea. It's just the coordination that would be required to do something like that. I think it's beyond the scope, unless there is something going on that I'm completely unaware of, which of course is a possibility. 3 questions. These are just yes or no's. Are aliens already here? Yes or no?
Oh, sure. I mean, there have been non-human extraterrestrial civilizations that have been observing the planet for thousands of years, and it increased remarkably once we detonated the first atomic bomb. There's no question about that. In fact, this particular team coming forward have dealt with the remains and on occasion living non-human life forms that have been downed, and some are still in captivity in subterranean facilities or STIFs.
To me, Dr. Greer, feels like, and you answered my other question, it feels like right now the public worldwide is being primed for something. You know, for the last 50 years, we've had movies about aliens. Going back to Roswell, we've had reports of flying saucers. And now people, not just in northern New Jersey, are seeing strange things in the sky. It seems like these beings are technologically far superior than we are. And they're doing this with incredible patience, priming a worldwide audience for something else. Do you agree with that? And then what are they priming us for?
Well, it's very complex, but the bottom line it is they've been waiting for humans to acknowledge their presence so that they don't have to force into it, which could look aggressive, because they're not aggressive, obviously.
Force into it like land in Times Square, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to do something like that. They're going to do a sort of an acculturation and desensitization operation.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Which means it's gradual.
Okay.
And it has been over the decades. Now, the big problem here are rogue military-industrial complex operations that have reverse engineered these extremely advanced technologies and can use them in staged event. And this is where everyone, when I say everyone, I mean everyone from the generals that I have briefed at the Pentagon to director of the CIA, past, not incoming. And that is that they greatly underestimate what has been developed. I mean, Ben Rich, before he died, who was head of Lockheed Skunk Works, said, anything you can imagine, as you've seen on Star Trek, we've already figured out, and it's out there in the desert. He says, not Area 51.
Okay.
Talking about
how far ahead of us? And the last time you were on, you said there are multiple different alien societies from different planets visiting us.
Right.
How far ahead of us are they?
At least 60 to 70 that have been documented.
60 to 70?
That I know about, yes.
60 to 70 documented. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be in the comment section trying to pretty much downplay or question his credibility, Dr. Greer. So go look him up. You know what I mean? A lot of people interview, a lot of credible news stations interview him. Still, that doesn't make anything true or not. So go do your research on him. I've done a few interviews or reacted to a few interviews from him, and I'm still waiting for him to give me some reason to not take him seriously, you know, or to question a lot of the things he says, even though I question everything everybody says, just like I do for Michio Kaku or Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody speaking on different things. You know what I mean? I don't 100% agree with everything, but he's spitting some things and saying some things. So what we need to do is pay attention in the next few weeks and see if anything comes out to substantiate what he's saying right now. We just got to pay attention and be able to read through the lines and pay attention.
And how far, where are they technologically? 1,000 years ahead, 1,000,000 years ahead?
They'd be in the many thousands to millions of years more advanced. And there are different civilizations at different development, both socially, spiritually, and technologically. None of them are hostile, obviously. With the kind of technology they have, they would have, as Congressman Burchett once said, it would be a charcoal briquette floating through space if they were overtly hostile. But they appear to be very concerned with our own hostility and the development of very powerful
weapons. If they landed, Dr. Greer, could they communicate with us?
I'm sure they can. I mean, I don't know how that would exactly take place. It may be some strange. I mean, remember, one of the things that Elon Musk is working on at Neuralink is an interface between thought and machine.
Right.
Now, I will tell you, this is a big secret that's going to come out very quickly with this team, because they've dealt with this, is that there is a direct interface between technology and consciousness and thought that's been developed by these advanced civilizations. This is not Ma Bell we're talking about here in terms of communication. So it's that's just a prelude. We don't have time to unpack that, but I know about that in a very specialized fashion.
Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon, Sea of Tranquility, 1969, Apollo 11. Over the decades, he hinted at several things. One's that aliens are living right now in bases on Antarctica and under the ocean. His words, not mine. The second, that the moon landing in 1969 never actually happened. The third, and most interesting, I think, is that on the dark side of the moon doesn't spin like the Earth. When they orbited in Apollo 11, they photographed and saw with their own eyes structures that clearly were built by somebody. Can you confirm or deny any of that?
I can absolutely confirm we did go to the moon, but when we went, we weren't alone, and that was known prior to the 1969 moon landing, and I'll tell you why. If you go to our Disclosure Project Intelligence Archive, dpiarchive.com, you will see, and it's free to go there, you'll see the testimony of Carl Wolf, who in 1968 was at a National Security Agency relay station at Langley Air Force Base.
Carl Wolf was killed, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was killed. I mean, we've had a lot of losses.
Run over by a truck or something like that? Mysteriously?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Dr.
I was mysteriously almost killed about 14 months ago. But my point is that these, when they did the lunar orbiter, when they were mapping, where they were going to planning to land, there were these structures that we're seeing. And he came forward with that 25 years ago at the first Disclosure Project press conference in May of 2001. So we've known about this for some time. And he actually saw the images, the early digital photographs and what have you of those structures. So we know that this is all going to eventually come out.
Let me just ask you, we're so tight on time, Dr. Greer. The Las Vegas suicide bomber. So he wrote this manifesto that they're trying to suppress like they do with everything else. But it sort of ebbs into this world. Is there any connection just between what is going to happen next week and what we saw in Las Vegas on New Year's Day?
Correct. There is. And again, that was sort of a psychological warfare operation by someone in special forces giving a heads up on this. It's not a coincidence it happened at the Trump building and that it was in a Cybertruck. He refers to gravitic propulsion systems. And that's what's going to be coming out because we have mastered gravity control for decades. And this is why many of the crap people see that they think is alien.
And he wrote about that in the manifesto. Just a final question.
He did.
Following whatever happens next week, if it does happen, does Donald Trump need to appoint somebody like yourself as an alien czar or a UAP czar?
Well, this has been suggested. We'll see. I mean, of course, the president, you serve at his pleasure. As it is, I've been an unofficial advisor for many administrations on this. And now that this is going to be coming to a head, we'll see if he wants someone to do that. If I would certainly consider it if I was asked, but that has not happened.
Dr. Greer, I'm interested to see what's really going on out there. We've got 10 days before the inauguration.
As soon as this drops and we get this from this team, we'll send it over to you.
All right. Dr. Stephen Greer, have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it as always.
Your first question was if China or Russia. If Russia owned it, they wouldn't be battling in Ukraine. It'd be over. Putin's ego, it wouldn't have happened. China, they would control us. Even they pretty much do now, but even more so. So that goes back to my original premise. It's either something from that's extraterrestrial or something that we have in our skunk works that we are reverse engineering. And your first question was that.
Good evening. We are following breaking news right now in Ventura County. You're looking at it here. Firefighters battling a fast-moving vegetation fire in Oxnard. I'm Mark Brown.
And I'm Colleen Sullivan. Ventura County Fire and Oxnard City Fire crews are battling.
That view alone should show you and put it into perspective. You know what I mean? For those who still, it hasn't sinking in for how dangerous this can get. Look at the city here. Look at that. Look at all of the homes and everything here. And it's like the fire is moving towards it, bro. And all it takes is gusts of wind to blow those embers there. Well, that's why I say, bro, they are not out. They're not out of the woodwork yet, bro. They're not out of the thick of it yet. There's still a lot more to be done.
Battling the fire that is centered in the Santa Clara riverbed.
They're calling it the Auto Fire. It started near Auto Center Drive. This was originally reported to be at 5 acres. The winds in the area now being clocked in the mid-20s range. Chris Christie overhead in Air 7. Quickly, Chris, what are you seeing?
As we come back over this fire, Mark, is starting to look a lot better as they have gotten a lot of water along the leading edge of the fire and almost slowed this fire to a crawl as it makes its way slowly westward towards the Victoria Avenue Bridge, which connects Oxnard and Ventura. You can see still a lot of heavy fuel fueling those flames. There are radio towers in the middle of this fire as 3 separate helicopters are attempting to drop as much water as possible to slow the forward progress. You can see the direction of this fire going from right to left. That is from east to west. Guys, back to you.
Indeed. The good news then is it's staying in the river bottom. That's one good thing. The other thing is blowing directly due west. There's not much in terms of inhabited structures between where it is now and where it could go, and it may not get much further than where it is right now.
Nearly 1,000 incarcerated men and women have joined the front lines in a battle against record-breaking wildfires burning across Southern California. They're part of a long-running volunteer program led by the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. The team say they've been working around the clock cutting fire lines and removing fuel from behind structures to slow fire spread. Inmates are paid a daily wage between $5.80 and $10.24, and an additional $1 per day when assigned to active emergencies. But some think they're getting pennies compared to citizen firefighters who can earn upwards of $100,000 a year. You're just cheap labour, a former incarcerated firefighter said. Kim Kardashian has waded in on the issue too. Posting on Instagram, she said these heroes risk their lives to prove to the community that they have changed and are now first responders. She called on California Governor Gavin Newsom to raise the incarcerated firefighter pay to a rate that honours a human being risking their life to save our lives and homes. Mr. Newsom has since signed a law so that firefighters would have more career opportunities when they're released.